Do aliens exist? Well, the scientists are responding to Three-Eye Atlas's turn around the sun. You do not want to miss this. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and yes, the date has come. The comet, spaceship, what is this? Three-Eye Atlas that we've all been talking about made its way around the sun, and that turn that everyone was speculating, did it happen? Are we finally going to see aliens? Sadly, no. Looks like it's a pristine lump of rock and ice. Now, there's still other questions about this item, but no, it did not make the turn that the professors and scientists were abuzz curious that it would. Experts with NASA say there's no reason to worry. The object is a natural comet posing no threat to Earth, though its unusual chemical activity offers a chance for new scientific discoveries. So that is a pretty big deal still. The comet was expected to reach its perihelion, sorry, I don't know how to say these science words, during its closest point to the sun on Wednesday. I guess last night it did. Astronomer Avi Loeb, the Frank B. Bard Jr. Professor of Science at Harvard, made waves online for his theory that the interstellar comet had a 30 to 40% chance of being an artificial alien object sent to observe the solar system. Futurism reported for a spacecraft, perihelion is the ultimate time for either acceleration or deacceleration by an impulse from an engine thanks to the gravitational assist from the sun, Loeb wrote. This is also true of a mothership releasing mini probes that maneuver towards the planets. Unfortunately, we cannot observe Three-Eye Atlas from the Earth at this opportune time, which raises the question of whether its trajectory was fine-tuned by extraterrestrial intelligence. Basically, he was trying to say they were using this moment behind the sun to hide its space travel so they could come in, more stealth is what the theory was. And that at this point around it, we would have seen if its trajectory changed when it came back around, which would tell us whether that was a natural path or if it was a intelligent path is really what the theory had been. So what happened? Let's go through what some of the reports are now saying. Reports are now again, this is what they're telling us, guys. You can still be Fox Mulder out there and choose to believe that they're covering all this up. But they are now saying that it's a pristine lump of rock and ice. But stay tuned because there's more to it. It's finally met its scientific answer. Professor Brian Cox, a physician from University of Manchester, has declared the mysterious interstellar object is nothing more than a lump of rock and ices. That's what the new reports are now coming in. I think he came in. Here's the tweet. Just to be clear. I have it here. Sorry. Just to be clear, given recent drivel online, Comet Three-Eye Atlas is a comet made of carbon dioxide and water ices and bits of other stuff. It is entirely natural in origin. Its orbit is as expected, and it will whiz around the sun and then disappear off into the galaxy again. If it ever encounters another inhabited solar system in the far future, I hope the living things there are more sensible than us and enjoy it for what it is, a visitor from elsewhere in the galaxy, a pristine lump of rock and ices which formed around a distant, maybe long-dead star billions of years ago and many light years away, just passing through. Isn't that wonderful enough? He's right. It's still something we should marvel at, but people already speak, most likely true, but it is still a strange comet. It's definitely stretching the definitions of comet. And that's where I think a lot of people are still having these questions, because while they seem to be all agreeing it's not a spaceship, it's not a spacecraft. I didn't expect it to be a spacecraft, to be honest. I did expect it to be some sort of foreign material. Could this be vibranium finally making its way past our planet? That's the big question that's still coming in. And so as we got more of these orbital paths and things detailed after that way around the sun, just more information gave off more questions. Has reappeared from behind the sun. Note there's no sign of having fire in the engines while hidden from us. It's back in field of view on the Punch WI instruments. Here is a co-added stack of all the images from the clear filter from October 27th. So I guess that was the image that a lot of people were like, why aren't they showing us the pictures? I still don't know what I'm looking at, to be honest, but there is the official images. The solar conjunction was just days before the perihelion, the closest approach, which happened yesterday. That meant an increase in activity from the comet, not just particular anti-tail, but also the presence of a possible jet. While the data is still coming in, it will take days before it's analyzed and shared. It's unlikely we'll get anything from NASA due to the continued shutdown, but the automatic pipeline of data allows us to check images and the progress, and so that's where a lot of people are using this data to confirm it did not alter its path. as an intelligent life form or spacecraft would. But it did reappear with a baffling glow, unlike natural comets. So take that as you will. The comet, which is not visible from terrestrial telescopes, appears to have unusual chemistry. It passed through solar conjunction with Earth, meaning it was hidden. It's exciting for science because, unlike other comets, it does not orbit the sun. The object named 3I Atlas closest approach, it brightened at a rate about 7 times faster than typical comets as it reached the sun. Researchers who captured the observations noted the reason for the rapid brightening, which far exceeds the brightening of most Oort cloud comets, remains unclear. Even more puzzling, the comet now appears distinctly bluer, a reversal from its previously reddish hue. Scientists speculate that the blue glow will likely come from gas emissions, including carbon molecules, other compounds, rather than just sunlight reflecting off of dust. So that's where things are coming in. There was also this question, what is water vapor doing on it? NASA's James Webb telescope detected organic compounds on this comet. They're fascinating because, unlike these comets, its chemical fingerprint may reflect conditions in another solar system. The mixture of gases and isotopic ratios could offer the first direct evidence of interstellar ice composition ever recorded. Think what that means. I instantly go to like Jurassic Park. Remember the idea of catching that mosquito in the ember? What if Captain America is frozen in this interstellar iceberg? You don't ever know. There's so much that could still be figured out in this item, this object. And clearly it's of, origins and compounds that we've never yet seen. So look, even though it's not proving to be a spaceship, as many were hoping that the aliens were going to come on land, I say thank God they're not. We have enough going on right now in this world. It is still interesting to know that, yes, there's some serious stuff about to pass through, and hopefully we can get a lot of information about this and figure out what's actually going down. So there was another big question as to why it didn't change any sort of shape as it passed the sun. That was another big question that came about. It didn't flare, it just kept going. It defied solar destruction, leading some to wonder if it's built, not born, to withstand the sun's fury. This is the other most interesting part I saw, because they expected it to flare up or change compounds or chemicals as it passed the sun, because you can imagine how hot that is. It didn't. For an object entering our solar system from another star, the indifference has sparked further speculations. Experts believe the lack of expected comet behavior could suggest the 3I Atlas is not just an ordinary icy wanderer, but something more engineered, built to endure solar extremes. How did it survive the sun? How did it go past, which typically would trigger wild activity, ice's sublimate, gas jets erupt, twin tails stretch behind the body, but Atlas defied that scenario. It just kept going, and it didn't change much at all. Rather than brightening wildly or forming a dramatic tail, it maintained a stable brightness and trajectory. According to an ex-post who has been observing the object, nothing happened. And while that may seem like, a downer, that has now prompted many more questions. So what was this object? What are we learning? It looks like it's not going to be a spaceship landing. I mean, I guess it could, but the odds of that have tremendously shrunk. But as we see, that's how close, like how wild is that? How close it was to the sun, and it didn't burst up. Was this icy rock? You'd think the sun would melt such a rock, or at least change it enough to change its direction, but it didn't. Prompting the biggest question I see, and then leaving me to still wonder, was this engineered? Could this be a scouter mission, something within that ice to get its own data from a different farther solar system? Maybe. We don't know. We have to wait to see more information, but be warned, be safe. It doesn't sound like aliens are landing anytime soon, so that's not happening. But something crazy is happening out there in space, as it often does, and it's going to come awfully close, so we should be able to get some really interesting insight and data. So stay tuned. I wanted to give you that update so people could breathe a little less or worry, or I guess be disappointed that their aliens aren't landing. But what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for alerts if you haven't already. Hit the all. Smash the like and tell me what you think. What are your theories? Do you buy this? Do you think they're still covering something up? Are you like the X-Files? Do you think this is going to be something that they don't tell us the truth on? Should they tell us the truth that aliens exist? Could we handle it? I want to hear all your theories down below. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming your way. Thanks so much for watching here on Popcorn Planet.